If you look at history, you'll notice a pattern that has destroyed three great superpowers over the last 500 years. And today, in 2025, the United States is following that exact same pattern, stage by stage. It feels like we are reading the same script that dragged past superpowers toward destruction. In 1590, Spain was the richest empire on Earth. It controlled half of the world's gold and silver. Most of Europe was under its influence. Its currency was accepted everywhere. And yet, within just 80 years, Spain went bankrupt and never truly recovered. In 1914, Britain was the largest empire in human history. It was said that the sun never set on the British Empire. The British pound was the world's reserve currency. And within just 40 years, the entire empire collapsed. In 1991, the Soviet Union was a superpower. Nuclear weapons, global influence, satellites across the world. And all of it disappeared within just 900 days, not because of war, but because of economic implosion. 3 times, 3 great superpowers collapse in the exact same way. And here is what should terrify you. America has already completed 5 out of 7 stages. It is walking the exact same path as past superpowers. Today's video will explain how superpowers collapse, why every superpower believes it is different, and why mathematics says America's turn has now arrived. But before understanding the pattern, you must understand what imperial collapse actually means, not in textbooks, but in reality. Imperial collapse does not begin with war or military defeat. It begins with economic exhaustion. Superpowers expand beyond their ability to sustain themselves. Military bases in 150 countries. Wars on multiple fronts. Promises they can no longer afford to keep. At first, no one notices a decline. The currency still works. The military still wins wars. The government still delivers benefits. But behind the scenes, something else is happening. Resources are misallocated. Productive capacity shrinks. Intelligent people leave the country. Then comes acceleration. Allies begin switching sides. Enemies start testing boundaries. Reserve currency status begins to erode. And suddenly, the advantages that once made you powerful turn into vulnerabilities. Your currency, once demanded everywhere, starts flowing back home. Your military, spread across the world, becomes unsustainable. Your promises, once guarantees of strength, become empty words. This is not theory. This is exactly what happened to Spain, Britain, and the Soviet Union, because they made the same decisions the United States is making today. They believed their power was permanent. They refused to accept reality until collapse reached its peak. So let's see how this happened. 3 times in the exact same way. Spain, the first collapse. After Columbus discovered the Americas in 1492, Spain became the world's first superpower. It conquered the Aztec and Inca empires and seized control of the largest gold and silver mines on Earth. By 1550, Spanish ships were bringing 200 tons of silver to Spain every year. By 1600, that number reached 400 tons annually. Spain controlled Europe's money supply. The Spanish real was the global reserve currency. Everyone wanted Spanish silver. And this is where the pattern begins. When a country controls money, it starts believing it is invincible. King Philip II, who ruled from 1556 to 1598, was the richest monarch in the world. He spent that wealth expanding the Spanish Empire. Stage 1. Military overextension. Spain was fighting wars everywhere, against the Ottoman Empire in the Mediterranean, against France and Italy, against Protestant rebels in the Netherlands, against England's navy in the Philippines, and across the Americas. By 1580, Spain had armies on 4 continents. Half of Spain's revenue went to the military, and it still was enough. Stage 2. Currency debasement. Taxes couldn't cover expenses, so Spain did what every failing empire does. It debased its currency. Silver coins were mixed with copper. A coin that should have been pure silver became 50% copper, then 75% copper. The face value stayed the same, but real value collapsed. By 1600, Spanish silver coins barely contained silver. Merchants stopped accepting them. prices exploded. Stage 3, debt spiral. Spain borrowed from Italian bankers, German bankers, anyone willing to lend. In 1557, less than 20 years into Philip's rule, Spain declared bankruptcy. Then again in 1560, again in 1575, again in 1596. For bankruptcies in 40 years. Each time, reforms were promised. Each time, borrowing continued. Stage 4, loss of productive capacity. This is what people don't understand about Spain's collapse. The gold and silver destroyed them. When money is unlimited, production stops. Why farm when you can import food? Why build ships when you can buy them? Why innovate when you only need to spend? The Spanish elite saw work as beneath them. Manufacturing collapsed. Agriculture stalled. All the silver flowed out to pay for French wine, Italian silk, and luxury goods. Spain became a passageway. Money entered and immediately left. By 1600, Spain produced almost nothing. It depended entirely on imports, paid for by silver. When the mines declined, the system collapsed. Stage 5, social decay. Crime surged. Madrid streets filled with beggars. Productive citizens emigrated. The best minds moved to France, England, and the Netherlands. Spain was left with bureaucrats, soldiers, and priests. No one created wealth. Everyone consumed it. By 1640, Spain lost Portugal. By 1650, it lost the Netherlands. By 1700, the empire was an empty shell, large on the map, economically dead. Spain fell from superpower to secondary power in less than a century and never recovered. Today, Spain is a pleasant, cultured country, but globally irrelevant. That is imperial collapse. Britain, the second collapse. Now fast forward 300 years. In 1900, Britain ruled 25% of the world's land and 400 million people. The pound sterling was a global reserve currency. London was the financial center of the world. Like Spain before it, Britain believed this was permanent. Stage 1, military overextension. Britain's forces were everywhere. India, Africa, the Middle East, China, the Pacific, the Caribbean. When World War I began in 1914, Britain faced a choice. Stay neutral or bankrupt itself to win. It chose war. World War I cost Britain $40 billion, about $1 trillion today. By 1918, Britain was deeply indebted to the United States. The creditor became the debtor. Stage 2, currency stress. War drained Britain's gold reserves. Yet Britain tried to maintain the pound's pre-war value. In 1925, Britain returned to the gold standard at an overvalued rate. Exports collapsed. Unemployment surged. Interest rates stayed high. By 1931, Britain abandoned the gold standard. The pound instantly lost 25% of its value. Stage 3, debt explosion. World War II followed. Another $120 billion spent. More borrowing from America. By 1945, Britain owed more than its entire GDP. Stage 4, loss of empire. In 1947, Britain lost India, its crown jewel. Within 20 years, the empire was gone. Stage 5, currency decline. The pound fell from $4.03 to $1.27. A global reserve currency became a regional one. Britain kept symbols of power, UNC, nuclear weapons, special relationship. But the truth was clear. The empire was over. The Soviet Union, the fastest collapse. After World War II, the USSR became a superpower. Nuclear weapons. Eastern Europe. Global influence. They believed communism would bury capitalism. Stage 1, military overextension. The USSR spent 15 to 20% of GDP on the military. Afghanistan, Cuba, Vietnam, Syria, Africa, unsustainable. Stage 2, economic stagnation. By 1970, growth stopped. Factories failed. Farms collapsed. By 1980, the USSR imported grain. Stage 3, currency failure. The ruble wasn't trusted, even by citizens. Only dollars mattered. When oil prices fell, reserves vanished. Stage 4, loss of empire. In 1989, the Berlin Wall fell. Eastern Europe was gone. Stage 5, total collapse. On December 26, 1991, the Soviet Union collapsed. No invasion, no war, just economic failure. America today. America is following the same pattern. Military overextension, currency debasement, debt spiral, loss of productive capacity, social decay. Stage 6, loss of reserve currency, has begun. Stage 7, total collapse, follows. The pattern does not care about exceptionalism. It is mathematical. And history has never broken it. If you liked this video, subscribe to the channel. See you in the next one. Take care. Allah Hafiz.